Wedding preparations in full bloom.
Hello and welcome. Always good to pick up new stock for the shop. You have an eye for craftsmanship. This could help you in your travels. This is the current fashion. All done.
The wedding is soon to start! How grand!
A beautiful and worthy celebration, my lord.
Thank you. May this feast set a spirited tone for East Anglia's future.
There is much honor to be earned fighting by your side, Eivor. I'll be here
Eivor!
should you call
I'm
again.
so glad you've made it. Just like you to keep a king waiting at his own wedding.
Yet I arrived in the end.
A part of me worried you wouldn't.
I told you I would see, and now here we are.
Without you, I'd be dead.
You look good, Oswald. Like a man about to marry a
Do I? Because I'm no...
Of all the battles a man can fight, the war against himself is the hardest.
I hereby name you man and wife, and as man and wife, I name you... Oswald of Elmenham, first of his name, the rightful king of East Anglia, with his Lady Valdis, soul, fist, and beauty of this land.
You've done it, steward. A king now sits on the throne of the...
Don't leave yourself out of this song.
Back to your dreams, then, of fire and Helheim.
I lost my way some time ago. Hard to say when. I don't want to be here. I never did. This was Halfdan's dream. He ordered me to see it through. In my dreams, I'm sailing, remember? Wind in my beard, salt on my lips. Whether or not I find it, only time will tell.
Eivor! Careful. Eivor! Wolf-kissed. Gaze upon my pots.
They are not, Brothir. My arrows shatter what...
Even after draining so much meat, succeed and you...
Keep your eyes open long enough.
I could hardly believe my ears either. It was Oswald.
Yes, that's it. As with everything, an easy task for the wolf-kissed.
Barely a challenge.
Impressive, impressive. Here as promised. Now go enjoy the party. Skål, Eivor! Let's have a drink.
Yes, celebrate. Score!
Your fist is without ale. Let us address that.
Surely a special kind of metal is required for drinking before...
A metal not unlike it.
To Odin and his...
And the new...
Not bad, wolf-kissed.
A fool's wager.
A challenge none...
I will drink you...
And we'll make it interesting.
I accept.
Yes, celebrate. Score! Drink more.
The ale here, it's strong. But I am stronger!
Aye, stronger than me.
Speaking of payment,
Here.
Look there! Thinner on the roof!
The road to Valhalla does not run that way, Fimir.
He's been up there a while.
Eivor, Eivor! Some sweet wine for a sweet swine? Come join me! The Saxon god wanders somewhere up here, does he not? I haven't seen him.
they like to say he moves with me.
Look, the moon! It moves untroubled now. But one day it will be eaten by a giant wolf and the nights will be black forevermore.
Are you all right?
I've tasted glory.
I'm glad to hear it. Oh,
I always felt like Skoll, Hati, chasing and trying to fulfill Halfdan's wishes. But now I've caught my sun and moon. I've got them and...
you can let them go. Sail to a further shore.
My longship's in Valhalla. Don't you remember?
Fine. Come on, let's get you to...
You're very strong.
You're very large.
Sorry for this, Eivor. I've had one last glory. I should be happy. I am happy. Thank you.
It need not be the last.
Not the last.
Behold, how light-footed I am!
The boar represents fertility. Did you know that?
As does Freya. What's your point?
You impress me, Eivor. Your battle. Yet I wonder, is there any skill of mine that I could impress?
Even a fool has something to teach, whether they are aware of the...
Hey. But I could show you how to wield my plow sword.
Have another horn of mead, brother. It's brewed with clover and raspberry, they say.
Did you hear what I... Yes, it's good.
Keep that up.
Wait, did you hear? Did my brother just call me?
Enough fun and games. I should see how Oswald is doing.
Eivor, I'm about to address our guests, and I'd like you to be there.
It's been a worthy ceremony so far.
And have you had enough fun yet?
I'm ready to hear you address your kingdom.
Good. Come. Friends, honored guests. We've pushed through hard times. It seems like all we've... But it is not conflict that binds us. May we always favor compassion, even when our enemies refuse its boon. So, to my Dane friends and neighbors, I give thanks for the bravery you have shown during our collective struggles. And for my fellow Christians, may we continue standing as examples of our Lord's grace. Lights in the dark. I see East Anglia's future right here, right now, in all...
Still a bit soft on insults, but the king has courage.
And to Eivor, without whom none of this would have been
On behalf of East Anglia, let this ring be proof of our loyalty to the Raven clan and all they have done for us today.
Would you have any words of wisdom for us?
I'm not one to bask in the glow of another's triumph, but I'll say this. East Anglia is safe. Under his protection, under his guidance, under his wing. The good King Oswald will keep you safe for many moons to come.
To Oswald!
Skull!
Skull!
Score! Okay, everyone, the bridal race starts now. Remember, you all have to lose to the bride and groom. Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all.
My king!
The sheep you left to guard me have been shorn. Oswald! King of sheep fucker! I challenge...
I accept.
No square. Only sweat and blood.
He may be wounded, but don't let your guard down.
Let's settle this.
I will bury you, Saxon. I'll take all that is yours.
Should a king show mercy to one so malevolent? So cruel? I'll not give you the satisfaction of a good death, for my god forbids such cruelty. Therefore you are outcast. From this moment on.
You have won. My life is yours.
Your life is God's. Now go! Leave my kingdom and never return!
I do not understand this Saxon religion. Oswald is a coin. One side mercy, the other courage. There are few like him, I'll admit. Saxon or Dane.
Such a strange display. Courage and restraint like I've never seen. With all that's happened, with all the chaos Rued wrought, still, Oswald found reason to spare him.
It's a strange thing.
A remarkable thing. From what inner spring does such kindness run? I'd like to know. With my duty here fulfilled, I now choose East Anglia. I fight for you, my king.
Rise, old friend. You're embarrassing me.
Be well, Finnir. Your choice is a bold one. You continue to surprise Oswald of Ilmenham.
Thank you, Eivor. When we first met, I made an oath. I promised you an alliance.
You did.
You'll have it, so long as I draw breath.
Until next time, King. Now it seems the wind calls me back to Randvi. Let's tell her the good news. Hey, my boy.
Do you not know fine millinery when you see it, Rowan? I could trade that hat for 2 of your horses.
Silence!
Rowan, Holger, why all this shouting?
Eivor, thank Tyr.
I heard shouting.
Holger robbed me, and I demand he be punished.
Raw disappointed word. Does the deer rub the stream when she takes a drink? Does a cow rub a field when he crops on sweet grass?
Eivor, this matter requires
Of course. From the beginning, please.
Well now, there is no excuse too small, I see. Nothing to keep you from coveting that seat, is there?
In Sigurd's absence, who has better claim to oversee these disputes?
You might leave them to work it out for themselves, but that would mean—
Please start again. Tell me all—
I will start. I have been falsely accused by this Saxon Philistine.
A filly what? Are you mocking me?
Silence, please. I will hear both of your complaints and render a decision, awarding compensation if needed. Understood? Holger, let me hear your side.
Eivor, you have known me as a skald for years. You have seen how my poems bring life, and you know that my work requires a certain, let us say, freedom. To make use of rare resources to compose, often when lacking the proper tools. I have made use of novel items. Alvis's walking stick, Tovi's inks, all were given glad.
You cut off my horse's tail to make a brush, you bleed.
Rowan?
I could have used a frayed stick, some cloth, my hands, but to make a perfect brush, I needed the fine hairs of a well—
You clipped Alfgafur's tail to the rump without—
It was early. I did—
Thank you, Holger. I believe on— Rowan, tell me your version of these events.
As you are aware, Holger and I are neighbors. Near enough that I often catch him at my stables.
Borrowing.
Holger, let him speak.
Stealing, borrowing. My point being, I have always allowed him to use whatever I greatly admire your Norse generosity and had hoped to match it. But this morning, Holger stretched the limits of my grace. Entering my stables for their feed, I found my most beautiful, gentle mare stripped of her tail. I am ashamed to say my natural suspicion drew me to Holger, and when I peered across the lane, there he was, gripping a horsetail brush slathered with indigo.
Painting, Rowan. I was painting.
You see? Such willful arrogance. It will take ages.
I understand. I believe I have heard enough.
My horse looks like a fool, Eivor. No handsomer—
Do not conflate hair with beauty, Rowan. She remains radiant.
Quiet, both of you. Holger, Rowan is clearly in the right. You sheared the tail from his horse without gaining permission.
I borrowed the tail. Borrowed! Does the reality of regrowth not make this a victimless crime?
It is a two-victim crime, Holger. Though they are unharmed, you took without asking, and that will not do. As the horse's value has diminished significantly, you will pay Rowan its market price.
But the horse was not first.
My decision is final, Holger.
And if I do, may I keep the
Pay the man and be done with it. Rowan?
It does.
Good. Then by tears, return to your homes and
Would you allow me to pay you with a vibrant—
Greetings. That Holger,
I almost envy him. To see the world through such a muddy glass, and live with such petty concern.
Let's not walk too far with that idea.
East Anglia is with us. Their king—
Eivor Kingmaker. One more thing. I do not know if you heard, but Svend passed away a short time ago. The poor man slipped away in his bed.
I had not heard, no. And how is Tovi? She must be gutted.
It has been rough on her. She spends quite a lot of time at his burial mound. Speak with her, if you have the time.